Dear Jubilee, thank you for tuning in to this special segment in preparation for the upcoming soft opening of our Sunday worship. Today is June 30th, the very last day of June, and as we begin the new month of July, as it has been announced, we're going to invite more people to come and join us for public worships on Sunday morning. So for EM, our worship time is the same as we have had online. So 10 a.m. every Sunday, this space will be open for those who are able to come and join us. The worship will be broadcasted online just as it is being done right now. So if there's any reason why you need to stay home and still continue to participate in online worship, that possibility is obviously still available. As we open up the public space, there are some key issues that I would like you to be aware of, things that we are hoping that you will comply to in order that we may have a safe gathering environment whenever we do gather for worship. Because coronavirus spread seems to be ongoing for the time being, what we are looking at is what people call the new normal. New normal is an understanding that we need to be vigilant to keep ourselves healthy and safe, but at the same time, certain things will need to get back to as normal as possible. Worship will be one of those things, but here are some very important things that we need to keep in mind. First thing that I do want to tell you and remind ourselves is that because of the very special nature of COVID-19, that people can be carriers without any symptoms that they experience. That means that when we gather together in a bigger group, one thing that we have to keep in mind is not somehow we would not get infected by someone else. But rather, I think the key issue is that we think this way, that somehow we may not carry the virus to give to others. So when that issue is clearly understood from that perspective, I think we can be much more careful with the things that we do in the manner that we carry ourselves. So naturally it flows that if there's any suspicion of any symptom to your body, whether you are a staff, leader, or whatever you may be, you need to stay home. You need to stay home and participate on online service with a sufficient amount of quarantine time. When you come to service on Sunday, please be aware that as it's been an online case as well, the offline service on Sunday morning will be family-based. That is, we will not have a simultaneous offline ministry for children in the morning. So come prepared to worship along with your family members, something that we've gotten somewhat used to, and as the covenant nature of the worship is reclaimed, I think there can be a lot of benefit in doing that. David is going to send out a link by which you can register your intention to participate in worship. The reason why we ask you to do that is so that we can be ready in terms of how many will show up on Sunday, so that we would have adequate preparation, including the overflow space in case that is necessary. We are encouraging the elderly members of the church or anyone who is susceptible to contagious disease to stay home and continue to use online means. This is the most important thing, I think. When you come into the indoor space from outdoor, you must have a face covering. You need to wear a mask, and that is something that you need to continue to do even during and through the service, the worship itself. I know I've tried it, and it's not so easy in the very beginning, but trust the fact that after repeated use of mask in the worship setting, you can actually get used to it. But this is so very important in terms of keeping everyone safe. Social distancing is something that you got very used to. As you can see in the church chapel, we've collapsed 2 rows into one. That means we don't have people sitting down on each row, but every other row. Even in the same row, if you are family members, you can sit together side by side. Otherwise, you want to put 2 to 3 seats space between you and the others to keep enough distance from one another. We have actually turned the fellowship hall into an overflow worship space with chairs that are free to move about. To keep the distance, we actually have put on a large screen display of what's going on in the chapel. So come and join us, even if you might be working with a stroller for the infants and so on. And if you're used to worshiping possibly outside in the lobby will not be available to sit during the service, but the fellowship hall will be ready. Hand washing is very important, right? We've heard that many times. At the church, you could certainly use the restroom where you can wash your hands, but also there are hand sanitizers stationed everywhere. You will be able to see one very easily. Please wipe down your hand as often as you can. After worship or before worship, if you need to have any conversation with somebody, we urge you strongly that you would not use lobby or hallway to do something like that. Please move as soon as you can to the outdoors. The lobby should not be considered as a place to stay, but let it be a place where you're constantly moving, either coming in or going out. We will not have any fellowship food on Sunday for the time being. And if you can help in terms of cleaning the surfaces and so on before worship, if you would like to volunteer to help out in that way, please let us know. As I mentioned that the children's ministry and the youth ministry will have a separate time on Sunday at 3 p.m. Why are we doing this? Well, first of all, because it frees up a large space for these meetings. And also, this is a time when our children, our youth can come and have an offline Sunday chapel, really to be encouraged to have the Lord's Day as the day of worship. For the children, whether it's preschool or elementary school children, it is required that a parent must be present with their child or children. So while this about an hour segment of ministry happens, it'll become a family thing with parent and the children together, seated throughout the entire program. Youth group, on the other hand, we are allowing the youth group students to be on their own by the guidance of our youth director. Whatever we do as a church, let me tell you that we will do our best to follow the guideline presented by CDC. Things are changing, and as things do change, we will monitor what the guidance is, and we will follow as much as we can to make sure that we have a safe environment where we could gather together. Well, that's about all I have to say, and if you do have any questions about what we're doing, please do contact me or contact other staff of the church. Thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you very soon.